Okay, guys, we are going to start Chapter 3, hands-on practice activities. Okay, so in the book, I'm going to start on page 88 with practice activity 3.1. All right. So let's get going here. So in Canvas, I'm going to go ahead and go to my Chapter 3 class activities, and I need to download those files. Just one note, I am using a Mac this time. So those of you who are using Mac can kind of see the process here. So I'm going to download that chapter3.zip folder. All right, so let me go out here, grab that and unzip that. Okay, so we got all those files. I'm also going to need the template file from chapter 2 for some of these activities. So I'm going to go back into the class assignment number 2 for chapter 2. Let me just go back to the home page here in Canvas. And I'm going to download that class activity for chapter 2 just so I can grab that template file. I'll try to remember to maybe put all of those in the same chapter files for you guys in the future. Okay, so let me get that chapter 2 and unzip that. And then I got that template file there. So I'm going to go ahead, I'm just going to drag that into my chapter 3 folder. And I'll just get rid of these guys. And I don't need that zip file. I'll remove that as well. Okay, so I got chapter 3. I am going to go ahead, I'm going to make a new folder called My Chapter 3 to put all of my new files that I'm creating into. Okay, and so on the Mac, sorry, I just right click and then you can just right click and choose new folder. Just a simple little deal there. Okay. All right, so we're going to go ahead and open up that template file from chapter 2. So I'm going to go into brackets, and I'm going to go to File, Open, and I'm going to find chapter 3 template. Okay, so in this one, we're going to just do a simple inline CSS. Okay, so remember we talked about inline CSS and the differences between inline, embedded, and external style sheets. All right, so for this one, we're just going to do a simple inline. So I'm going to go to title, change that to inline CSS example. All right. Let me increase the size text there just so you guys can see it a little bit better. All right, so I'm going to go down into the body now, and so I'm going to go ahead and add in my style. Okay, so sorry, I'm going to go into this first body tag. All right, and then I'm going to hit space after the word body and type style equals, and double quote parentheses there, or I'm sorry, a double quote quotation mark, and we're going to type background hyphen color. Okay, so we're going to be changing the color, colon, and hashtag. So I'm going to enter a hexadecimal value here. So we're going to do F5, F5, F5. All right, so that's going to set the background. And then I'm going to do a semicolon, colon. I'm going to do color, colon. So this is going to be for the text color. And then I'm going to put in my color value there. and then semicolon. All right. All right, so that for the whole entire body of this page, it's going to have that background color and that text color set. All right. So now I'm going to go down here. I'm going to make an H1, and I'm going to type another inline style sheet here. So H1 space style equals. Again, I'm going to change the background color. You can use brackets here to autofill some of this stuff. Okay, and I'm going to put my value in here. You'll notice you can either do a space or you don't have to do a space after that colon. Either way will work. So I'm going to make color choice there. And then I'm going to set a different text color. Basically, I'm just inversing these from the body styles. And then semicolon. Okay, and let's close off that H1 tag, the opening tag there. And then for the text on that, it's just going to say Inline Css. All right, and then let's start a paragraph element after that. I'm just going to type this paragraph. The styles applied to the body. Okay. All right. So let's do a file save as. And I'm going to save this in my chapter 3 on the desktop. And I'm going to call this one inline.html. All right, and let's do a preview on it. Okay, so you can see we got our H1 header here, and then our paragraph that was using the body inline style to apply those styles there. All right, so it should look about like that. Okay, let's move on then to 3.2. All right, so I'm going to open up the starter.html file from the chapter 3 folder. So go ahead and close this. And go to File, Open, Chapter 3, and we're going to choose starter.html. All right, so it's already got a bunch of the text and everything in here for us. All right, so what we want to do is go in and we're going to do some styling here. All right. So in the book, it tells you want to go ahead. Note that the web page code uses the header, nav, main, footer, H1, H2, paragraph P, unordered lists and list elements in the layout of our page here. Okay. So let's go ahead and for this practice activity, we're going to add a embedded style sheet. All right, so let's go up here into the head section. Okay, so remember, if we do an embedded style sheet, it has to be in the head section. And we're going to start it off with that opening style tag. Okay, so opening and closing style tag, make sure you got both of those. All right. And we want to style the body. Okay, so we're just going to type body, space, and then a curly bracket. All right. And we're going to do background color. I'll just click on that to save me some time from typing. And let's set that in the book here. They got E6, FA. And notice as well, you don't have to do uppercase or lowercase. Either one works when you're doing a hexadecimal value. Okay, so the first one I was doing uppercase. This time I'm just doing lowercase. Then we're going to set the color of the text for that body. 191970, semicolon. All right. Okay, so then I'm going to go down and make a new line here. I want to add a style for my H1 header. So H1 space curly bracket. All right, again, I'm going to add a background color. And set that value to 191970, semicolon. So always remember to do a semicolon in between different properties here. So now we're going to do the text color 6FA, semicolon. All right, make another line, do my H2. All right. And again, another background color. Make this one AEAED4, semicolon. One thing to note, difference between embedded style sheets and inline style sheets. With the values of inline, remember I had to add the double quotation marks. Okay, in an embedded one, we don't have to do that. I'll finish it with the text color like that. So let's do a file save as. In my chapter 3, we're going to call this one embedded.html. And let's take a look. All right, so we got some different colors going on here using that embedded style sheet. All right, so it should look a lot about like this on your web page, your web browser window. Okay. All right. Okay, so let's move on to 3.3. All right, so let's go ahead and open up starter2.html. So I'll go ahead and close this one. Go to File, Open, starter2. All right, so again, we got text and everything's already set up here for you. In this one, again, we're going to do another embedded. Okay, so we've got the style sheet, style tags already put in there for you. And this one, we're going to work with fonts. Okay, so we're going to change some of the fonts. All right, so let's change the body fonts. Whoops. So down here on line 7, start in that style sheet. So body, space, curly brackets, and we're going to do font family. Okay. And we're going to use Verdana. And remember, not all browsers have all fonts on them, so we're going to give it a couple of different options. So we're wanting to use Verdana if possible. If not Verdana, we'll do Arial. And if it doesn't have that one, we'll just do a sans serif, whatever sans serif font it has installed. Okay, so Verdana, comma, Arial, comma, sans serif. All right. And then we're going to go ahead and change the fonts for the H2 and H3 headers. All right. So we can apply the same style to multiple elements. To do that, so we'll just type H2, comma, H3, and we'll do our curly bracket. For these, again, we use font family. This time we're going to use a serif font. So we're going to tell it to load Georgia if possible. And then, so one thing to notice here, when I do Times New Roman, we have to put that in quotation marks, just because that font is more than one word, all right? So if you have a font that's multiple words, you have to put it in quotation marks. And so if it doesn't have any of those, we'll just tell it whatever serif font it does have. Right. And let's see. Let's go ahead. What do we save this as? Okay, so we'll do a file save as. Let's go to my chapter 3. Let's just call this. Oh, hold on. Sorry, I'm getting ahead of myself here. All right, let's create a. We're going to create a new folder in my chapter 3. So we're going to add more to it later. We're going to call this folder Kayak 3. All right. So let's just save this one then as index.html inside of that Kayak 3 folder. And let's go ahead and live preview. All right, so you notice we got that sans serif font here for the nav and the big header there. Our body right down here, we're using Arial again, okay. Now we didn't specify an H1 or nav, so it's just gonna apply whatever we set up for the body. Now on the H2 right there and the H3, we did specify a font. So that's our serif font. So you can notice it's using a different one there, all right? So let's close that. And we're gonna go ahead and go to 3.4. All right, so again, we're still dealing with fonts. All right, so let's go ahead here. Start with, okay, we're going to use, let's go ahead and close this out. Go ahead and pull this index.html from 3.2 folder inside the chapter 3 one that you downloaded. Okay. All right, so let's go ahead. We're gonna just add some more styles here to our embedded style sheet. Okay. So let's start with the body here. Okay, and again, I'm on page 97, practice 3.4. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and bring that down to another line, so I can kind of keep track of what's going on here, so they're not all jumbled up together. So I'm in the body, all right, whoops. And we got background color, we got color, and now I'm gonna add font family to the body. Okay, we're gonna use Arial, Verdana, and sans serif, semicolon. Okay. Moving on to the next page, let's go ahead and configure our H1. All right, so this guy here on line 10. All right, again, I'm gonna bring these down, tab them over just to keep them nice and organized. So we're gonna add some more properties here. All right, so we're gonna get into some other ones, properties and values that we can configure. So we're going to adjust the line height, okay? We're going to make that line height 200%. Remember, we can do, whoops, sorry. We can do percentages, we can do point values, pixel values, a lot of different options there. We're going to do 200%, semicolon, and then change our font family. Type here. All right, let's set this one to Georgia. Roman. Remember to keep that in the quotation marks. Or just serif. Okay, we're going to add a text indent. Okay, so we're going to indent that text a little bit. Okay, so again, I like brackets, gives you some prompts here, so I'm going to type all that out. And for this one, we're going to use a value of 1M. And then the last one, we're going to go ahead and add a text shadow. All right, and for the shadow, we can specify how big we want that on different sides. Okay, so I'm going to do 3 pixel space, 3 pixel space, 5 pixel. Okay, so it's going to give us a shadow on the sides and the bottom, and then we can also give it a color value. So I'm just going to use a gray value there, semicolon. All right, so let's go on now. So the next page, all right, so 3.4 is a little bit longer. It's probably the longest one we've done so far. We want to add some more styles to our H2. Okay, so I'm going to jump in here. Let's tab that guy over. Tab that one over. Okay, so again, oops, up here, font family. For the H2, use those serif fonts again. Make sure you put your little comma outside of the quotation marks there. Serif. And we want this one to have a text align set to center, so it is centered on our page. All right, so text align, colon, center. All right. Okay, we're getting there. Next, we're going to do the navigation. So our nav element, right? So we can style that as well. So right after the H2, I'm going to make a new, I'm going to go to a new line, type nav, space, get our curly brackets there. So I'm going to bring that over just to keep those ones lined up. And then for our nav, we're going to do font weight. So we want these to be bold. Font weight, colon, bold, semicolon. All right, font size. So let's specify a certain size here. We're going to do 1.25M, semicolon. And word spacing, so word hyphen spacing. So we can make those kind of spaced out a little bit. We'll do 1M value on that. All right, so our next one, we're going to style our paragraph. For paragraph, we're going to specify a font size. 2.90M. Again, remember there's different values we can do. We do M, we can do points, we can do pixels. So when you have free time, you might just kind of play around with some different options there. Text indent, so we're going to indent the text a little. Set that to 3M, semicolon. All right, and then our The last one we're going to do here is our unordered list. So UL brackets. I'm going to move that tab over, just keep all this lined up. And for this one, we're going to adjust the font weight as well. And we're going to make that bold. All right. So let's do File, Save As. And we're going to put in my chapter 3. Let's make another new folder here called Trillium 3. And let's just save it as index.html inside that Trillium 3 folder. And let's give it a look. All right. Looks like everything is working. You can compare it to figure 3.14, page 100 of the book. I'm taking a look here. Looks like everything, yeah, I think we're all good. All right, so let's 3.11. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and stop at this one for today. And then on Friday, we'll pick up on 3.5, hands-on 3.5, and we'll finish this chapter out on Friday. So again, this is hands-on practice activities 3.1 through 3.4 in the book. And then we will pick up on Friday. All right. And that's all we got for today. If you got any questions, email me, text, or call me. Let me know. See ya.